Howdy fellow internet business enthusiasts! Today's video article is going to be about copywriting and advertising, and it's the fourth part of how to craft amazingly effective advertising. If you want to go ahead, let's get started. When your prospect reads your ad, you want to make sure he believes any claims you make about your product or service, because if there's any doubt in his mind, he won't buy it, no matter how sweet the deal. In fact, the too good to be true mentality will virtually guarantee a lost sale, even if it is all true. So what can you do to increase the perception of believability? Because after all, it's the perception you need to address up front, but of course you also must make sure your copy is accurate and fruitful. Here are some tried and tested methods that will apply. If you're dealing with existing customers who already know you'll deliver as promised, emphasize the trust. Don't leave it up to them to figure it out. Make them stop, cock their heads, and say, "Oh yeah, the ABC company has never done me wrong before. I can trust them." Include testimonials of such customers. Be sure to put full names and locations where possible. Remember, AS is a lot less believable than Andy Sherman, Voorhees, New Jersey. If you can also include a picture of the customer or a professional title, that's even better. It doesn't matter that your testimonials aren't from somebody famous or that your prospect doesn't know these people personally. If you have enough compelling testimonials and they're believable, you're much better off than not including them at all. Pepper your copy with facts and research findings to support your claims. Be sure to credit all sources, even if the fact is common knowledge, because a neutral source goes a long way towards credibility. For a direct mail letter or straight-to-the-space ads where the copy is in the form of a letter from a specific individual, including a picture of that person helps, but unlike traditional real estate letters and other similar ads, I'd put the picture at the end near your signature or midway through the copy, rather than at the top where it will detract from your headline. And if your sales letter is from a specific individual, be sure to include his credentials to establish him as an expert in his field, relating to your product or service, of course. Applicable, cite any awards or third-party reviews the product service or service has received. If you've sold a lot of widgets, tell them it's the old 10 million people can be wrong adage. They can be, but the prospect will likely take your side on the matter. Include a great return policy and stand by it. This is just good business policy. Many times offering a double refund guarantee for certain products will result in higher profits. Yes, you'll dish out more refunds, but if you sell 3 times as many widgets as before and only have to refund twice as much as before, it may be worth it, depending on your offer and return on investment. Crunch the numbers and see what makes sense. More importantly, test. Make them think, yeah, they wouldn't be so generous with returns if they didn't stand behind your product. If you can swing it, adding a credibility endorsement will always help to establish credibility. Heck, if all honest tabling recommended your product and backs up your claims, it must be true. Okay, you get the idea though. When it makes sense, use third-party testimonials. What are third-party testimonials? Here's some examples from some website copy I found. Spyware without questions is an exponential rise over the last 6 months. Alfred Hilger, Senior Director of Engineering in Symantec Security Response, maker of Norton Security Software. Simply clicking on a banner and calling on spyware. Dave Method, Chief Technology Officer, PC Pitstop. A deployment method is to trick users into consenting to a software download they think they absolutely need. Paul Bryans, Director Security and Technology Unit, Microsoft. What I meant is just taking words from experts in their respective fields and turn them to my site, but be sure to get your consent or permission from the copyright holder if there's ever any question about copyrighted materials as your source. Note that I also pushed an emotional hot button, fear. It's been proven that people will generally do more to avoid pain than to obtain pleasure. So why not use that fear to your advantage? Reveal a flaw about your product. This helps alleviate the too good to be true syndrome. You reveal a flaw that isn't really a flaw, or reveal a flaw that is minor, just to show that you are being upfront about your product's shortcomings. Example: you're probably thinking right now that this tennis racket is a miracle worker, and it is. But I must tell you that it has one little shortcoming. My racket takes about 2 weeks to get used to. In fact, when you first start using it, your game will actually get worse. But if you can just ride it out, you'll see a tremendous improvement in bodies, net play, serves, and so on. There's a tendency to think with all of the ads that we are bombarded with today, and every advertiser is always putting his best foot forward, so to speak. And I think that line of reasoning is accurate to a point. But isn't it refreshing when someone stands out from the crowd and is honest? In other words, you really will start to subconsciously believe that you are revealing all of the flaws, even though your best foot still stands forward. Use leaf notes. These are a brief note or a letter from a person of authority, not necessarily a celebrity, although they can add credibility too. A person of authority is someone well recognized in their field who is related to your product, that they are qualified to talk about. Leaf notes may be distributed as inserts, a separate page altogether, or even as part of the copy itself. As always, test, and test. If you are limiting the offer with a deadline, order by date, be sure the deadline is real and does not change. Deadline dates that change every day are sure to reduce credibility. The prospect will suspect if his deadline date keeps changing, he's not telling the truth about it. I wonder what else he's not telling the truth about. Avoid baseless hype. I discussed that in my previous tip. Enough said. So, this is the end of this fourth part. You will receive the fifth part of this how to craft amazingly effective advertising next week. But in the meanwhile, as usual, get more copywriting and marketing knowledge free at danielcajica.com. Receive valuable information, tips, tricks, gifts, tactics, strategies, and more for free just by subscribing to my internet business know-how mailing list at sidanka.com/membership/loves members. Until next time, thank you very much for having been here. Bye from now.